Tonight, Junkanoo drama continues. We've got the latest on this. Also, it's an upgrade for voter registration in the pipeline. And later, a temporary closure for Coral Towers at Atlantis. We'll tell you why coming up. Eyewitness News starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Janae Noel. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping news tonight, the future of Junkanoo now hanging in the balance. Our Laurencia Smith standing by live outside of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, where key stakeholders are currently locked in meetings. They're discussing the controversial National Junkanoo Authority Bill 2025, a proposal that could reshape the nation's most iconic cultural expression. Laurencia, what can you tell us?
Yes, that's right, Janaea. We're standing here outside of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, and I can tell you stakeholders from the government and Junkanooers are deadlocked in a closed meeting. Now, just behind me here in the ministry's conference room. Now, as I noted, it is closed to the public, but we got as close as possible, and it seems as if tensions are running high. And all of this controversy is stirring about from the proposed Junkanoo Authority bill, and that bill has prompted Junkanooers to say that they're suspending Junkanoo and for the foreseeable future. Now, we had an opportunity to speak with the youth minister, Mario Boleg, and he said that the purpose of this bill is to empower Junkanooers and to continue to reform our national culture. Now, Junkanooers have a different view. Many feel as if this may be taking away their power in their hand in the country's national festival. Now, as I said, this meeting is closed to the media at this time, but we're going to stand by to see in hopes that we're able to get something from the Junkanoo community, because many persons from that community has been tight-lipped, and they remain that they want to be able to speak to the media once they're able to speak to stakeholders. As we noted at this time, they're deadlocked in meetings. So please stay tuned to Eyewitness News social media page for the latest details as the Junkanoo saga continues. Laurencia Smith, back to you at the desk, Janaea.
Thanks so much, our Laurencia Smith, live tonight. Of course, we'll give you those updates as this story develops. Well, as the controversial Junkanoo bill continues to inflame tensions, a woman widely recognized as a Junkanoo legend, she's sharing her thoughts tonight, putting under scrutiny what she says she believes is government ill intent on the issue that's sensitive to Junkanooers. Our Jose Etienne has that angle tonight.
Tonight, the proposed National Junkanoo Authority of the Bahamas bill is causing tension in the Junkanoo community. Critics warn it's the wrong time to pursue this, and some voices are urging restraint. Among the skeptics is Junkanoo legend and the Coalition of Independence Culture Shadow Minister Linda Stubbs, who says this isn't the ideal time for such a disruptive discussion.
Why now, though? Why at this particular point when Junkanooers are in their creative zone?
Her comments come as the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence, the independent body that organizes the parades, has rejected the bill outright. They've taken the drastic step of suspending all official Junkanoo events, throwing the upcoming Boxing Day and New Year's parades into uncertainty.
Leave the Junkanooers alone. Let them get to Bay Street for December and January. Go to the table and do your negotiations.
Sources within the JCNP say the bill threatens to strip them of their authority, transferring control to a permanent government-appointed body. Now, frustrations are mounting, with insiders accusing the Trevor Davis-led Valley Boys faction of pushing behind the scenes to replace the JCNP, a claim that various officials have denied. But Culture Minister Mario Boleg cautions that the JCNP may be overreacting, urging calm and cooperation.
I don't know why it's causing some uproar. This is a draft legislation.
Boleg also confirming that government is not rushing the bill to Parliament, encouraging all stakeholders to read and review. But Stubbs isn't convinced.
You are trying to push this narrative because you want to impress the Bahamian people. After 3.5 years of doing nothing about this authority, all of a sudden, the authority is important.
Still, the Junkanoo veteran says she's open to the concept if the goal is to preserve, promote, and properly manage the cultural product. Now, with tensions flaring and the future of this year's parades hanging in the balance, this is a story far from over. In the meantime, Boleg is of the view that the JCNP doesn't have the authority to cancel parades for the remainder of the season.
Their responsibility is for the judging of 2 parades, Boxing Day and New Year's, and the ticketing. And that authority was given to them by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, who has the authority to take it away from them at any given time.
Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
Meantime, the Davis administration is taking a big step toward modernizing how Bahamians vote. The National Security Minister, Wayne Monroe, today tabling legislation to introduce biometric voter cards and electronic polling books ahead of future elections. Our Devontae Hanna has the details tonight.
Is set to be upgraded as government looks to remove outdated paper voters cards in exchange for modern technology. National Security Minister Wayne Munro, who has responsibility for the Parliamentary Registration Department, lamented that the transition is long overdue.
We'll introduce new biometric voter cards, e-poll books at polling stations, periodic voter verification exercises, and enhanced data security protocols.
Munro tabled the new Parliamentary Act in the lower chamber Wednesday, revealing the changes will follow international best practices and a 2021 recommendation by the Organization of American States to digitize the process.
Eligible voters whose biometric data already exist with the Passport Office will have the option to consent to a secure data transfer, reducing the need for in-person enrollment.
The legislation also creates tougher penalties, up to $10,000 in fines or a year in prison for tampering with election systems. The new e-poll book, he hopes, will make it more difficult to do so.
Full encryption and contingency print backups, ensuring that systems work reliably even in challenging circumstances.
But the tabling of the bill did not come without a challenge from the opposition, who argues there is not enough time for consultation before the bill goes to debate.
It requires us to bring the nation along, not just to dictate to the nation what the changes would be.
That prompting a sharp response from the nation's leader.
We are not introducing a law on biometrics, What we are introducing is the process under which we could get to biometrics. The law for biometrics was introduced by yourselves in 2020, but the member for Kalani called his election before you'll get it done.
Despite that, opposition deputy leader Shannon Cartwright reiterates that consultation is needed as the new cards will impact the entire electorate.
That every voter is going to have to give their consent for these biometrics to be transferred from one department to the next shows the great gravity of what we are going to be doing, and we feel that the way the government is approaching this, they're diminishing the gravity of this situation.
Debate on the new bill is expected to commence in the coming weeks. Devontae Hanna, Eyewitness News.
With the Davis administration planning to modernize the election system with biometric voter registration, digital verification, and also electronic polling books, supporters say this will reduce fraud and errors, while critics warn of digital overreach and privacy risks. Eyewitness News turning to social media, posing the question, do you support the government's plan to introduce biometric voter cards and electronic polling books? 58% of participants voting yes, it's a step in the right direction, while 10% voting no, I prefer the traditional paper system. 32% voted, I need more information before deciding. Along with these comments, persons also expressed diverse perspectives, some individuals advocating for maintaining the current election system with improved accountability and monitoring measures, citing concerns that biometric technology may compromise voter rights and transparency. Others voicing support for modernization, stressing the importance of keeping pace with technological advancements and calling for digital upgrades in other areas, such as healthcare record keeping. Meantime, with the draft Parliamentary Elections Amendment Bill 2025 and its accompanying regulations seeking to modernize elections and its framework, our Laurencia Smith visiting the Parliamentary Registration Department today for a first-hand look at the voter registration process. Now, for full transparency, all information used in this report was gathered through Laurencia Smith, a registered voter herself.
Since the 2021 general election, 7,660 persons have registered to vote, marking not just a rite of passage, but a constitutional right granted to every citizen once they turn 18. And now the Parliamentary Registration Department is ramping up registration as government looks to introduce biometric voter cards. Office Manager and Supervisor for Registration and Counterfoil at the department, Carolyn Burrows, breaks down exactly what one would need to register.
Every document is the passport, and of course, there are other documents that you use in the event you don't have a passport. So you can also present, an applicant can also bring their birth certificate along with a photo ID and also their mother's document.
Ahead of the last general election, government introduced a permanent voter register. And as of July 23rd, officials confirm there are 194,699 registered voters. Burrow says if you have moved since the last election, you're being urged to transfer to the correct constituency.
To come to Parliamentary Registration Department after 3 months of living at that address to be transferred. The Act speaks to the revising officer asking for supporting documents that will be proof of the address that they moved to. Any type of bill that has your name and also the new location.
And if you're looking to register, take note the department has relocated to Tony Williams Darling Highway, now operating out of the former Bank of the Bahamas building.
Go to the Marathon Mall, also the Town Center Mall. We also have all the post offices open for registration between the hours of 10 and 8 p.m. Center in Foxhill. Well, on the Family Island, the process is the same. The only difference is you go to the administrator's office to be registered.
Burroughs just provided me with insight on what persons would need if they are a first-time voter, if they're transferring constituencies, and where they can register to vote outside of the parliamentary department. Now, I am a registered voter, but for today's story, I am a first-time voter. Voting has been a cornerstone of democracy in the Bahamas since 1962. The year universal adult suffrage was introduced, giving all citizens the right to vote regardless of gender or property ownership. That same year marked the first general election under the new system. First time registering, making sure I have all my documents. It's an exciting time. The process brought back memories when I first registered to vote back in 2010.
Now, Ms. Smith, you're now a new registrant.
Voter participation has traditionally been strong, peaking around 90% in some years, but that has slowed. In 2021, turnout dropped to just about 65%, the lowest in nearly 2 decades. The message from officials: don't wait until the last minute. Register early, check your constituency, and be ready. Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Laurencia. Well, in news from the labor front, Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union President Darren Woods refuting claims of a mass separation package at Atlantis as the mega resort has grappled with significant decline in bookings. This as the Deputy Prime Minister and Tourism Minister Chester Cooper previously asserted that tourism numbers were on the upswing. Woods is setting the record straight tonight after Atlantis Vice President Vaughn Roberts revealed that its Coral Towers complex will be closed temporarily, an action he suggests should not be a surprise move, but one consistent with actions taken in years prior during a slower part of the tourism calendar. However, there's been swirling concern that those employees could be subject to downsizing during this slow period. Woods is clarifying what course of action workers are being advised to take while maintaining that their jobs are not in jeopardy.
I want to categorically deny that there's no mass separation packages being offered to the bargaining unit employees of the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union employed at Atlantis. What is happening is that they found themselves where there's a significant drop-off in the business. They were able to produce the information to show us, as a result of this tariff war that's going on, there's a significant drop-off in the business. We were able to see that, and what they're asking the employees to do, those who have excessive vacation, to take those time. Those who want leave of absence, they can take that also. And then after that, the persons who remain will be able to be placed in areas, because September is already a slow month when most of the people in the service industry take their vacation. No one is going to be negatively impacted or laid off or separated at this time.
Now, tourism executives revealing that the fall off in numbers during the slower months, compounded by trade wars that were sparked by the United States Trump-led administration. Although Woods says there's no concern as it relates to the future employment of workers, he says officials are leaning on the side of caution.
Most of them, the majority, based on what we saw, will be the period that they have in excess will take them through this period that they're talking about. And they're talking about 8 weeks, where the first instance is going to be three weeks. There's a group coming in and they're going to come back and then they're going to go back out. But even though they're saying 8 weeks, it will not be 8 weeks proper, because people are going to be there to close and reopen the hotel. We're watching any significant thing that happens, particularly in the U.S., because we see where the Trump administration is making various changes as they go along. So, of course, we have to keep our eyes glued to what is happening in the U.S., because anything that happens in the U.S. naturally affects us. And, of course, we stand ready to do what is necessary to ensure that our people are sufficiently taken care of.
Well, frustrations tonight from Free National Movement Senator Michaela Barnett Ellis. She's sounding off on electricity bills, calling them a burden on Bahamian families, adding that she was shocked about this month's power bill. This as consumers have also taken to social media stating their displeasure over this month's bill, the opposition senator lamenting the lack of relief for struggling households, urging the government to act swiftly to address what she deemed a crisis when it comes to Bahamas Power and Light.
If you're like me, you were shocked by this month's electricity bill, brought to you by the so-called New Day PLP. When they took office, the fuel charge was around 10 cents. Today, it's over 17. That's nearly 70% more before your usage or VAT. BPL said the prices would level off by early 2024. But it's now mid-2025 and the bills are still rising with no explanation and no relief. So where's the cheaper electricity we were promised? Because from where I stand, this isn't a new day. It's a never-ending nightmare.
Meantime, parliamentarians passing the Segregated Accounts Companies bill after debate in the House of Assembly today. It's being described as an industry-driven one, modifying the existing SAC legislation introduced in 2004. It now allows each segregated account to be its own incorporated entity while still being a part of a larger company. Prime Minister Philip Davis, while explaining the bill, revealing it's aligning the Bahamas with cutting-edge international structures, making it a prime destination for foreign investment through digital transformation.
Unlike traditional SACs, which is the Segregated Accounts Companies, ISACs grant each cell a separate incorporated status. This enhancement strengthens asset protection, simplifies lending arrangements, and aligns our offerings with the most innovative international structures. The bill also allows for seamless continuation procedures. Companies incorporated under Foreign Companies Acts or International Business Companies legislation can now re-domicile to the Bahamas as either SACs or ISACs through a single process. There's no liquidation or complex processes required to do so. We are facilitating a smooth transition for those who want to come to a premier jurisdiction.
Well, the opposition in full support of the bill. However, Shadow Minister for Finance Kwesi Thompson, while embracing the importance of the legislation, he thinks it's important that government actively tackle the laws that affect everyday Bahamians.
While on the surface, the legislation does appear to be technically sound, really, and this only emphasizes the point that I had in my speech, is that what we really ought to be debating is a question of trust, and we really ought to be debating a question of governance. And we should also be debating whether this administration is doing all it can to bring relief to the Bahamian public. Relief from the cost of living crisis, relief from the immigration crisis, and the slow economic growth.
Meantime, Shadow Minister for Finance Kwesi Thompson also raising questions on the government's plan to borrow some $300 million to place into the National Investment Fund and how it would impact the proposed $75 million surplus. Thompson says, according to law, the government does not have the legal authority to spend or invest it. He added that the budget documents does not clearly explain how that $300 million was allocated.
According to Section 16, Sub 4 of the Public Debt Management Act, all borrowed funds must be paid into the consolidated fund. Once deposited, those funds cannot be used unless they are specifically appropriated by Parliament under an approved budget line item, as mandated by Article 130 and 131 of the Constitution. and reinforced by the Public Financial Management Act. The government must answer where is the line item to spend the $300 million and put it in the National Investment Fund. We do not see it in the budget.
Meantime, the national conversation surrounding potential changes to the Gaming Act continues to stir debate across the country with conflicting signals and growing interest from citizens. Our Eyewitness News team went out in the community to find out, should the Gaming Act be amended, and do Bahamians support a move? Delano Roker has the details tonight.
While speculation has been rampant, Prime Minister Philip Davis has made it clear the Gaming Act will not be amended. Still, the issue continues to generate buzz, particularly following comments from His Excellency Sebastian, a prominent gaming executive who has hinted at entering the political arena. Meanwhile, Seabreeze MP and wife of a gaming figure, Leslie Miller Bryce, has stated publicly she would welcome a cabinet position, stoking public debate over potential conflicts of interest.
And I don't see no reason why the government shouldn't. You know, in this economy, you know, everyone should be given an equal opportunity. Not because you're a cabinet minister or because you're associated or have gaming interests, makes that should disqualify you or make you an unworthy candidate, because in the same way you may still have a lot to offer to the country.
Well, that's up to the Prime Minister to give a minister post, but yeah, Sabas is Bahamian, so I mean, if other people could get whatever, then why not Sabas? She have the right to, because she's a Bahamian also, so.
Doesn't matter to me once the person is, I guess, genuine enough to say be in Parliament. It doesn't matter who the person is, or if it's Sabaz, Leslie, it doesn't matter.
The existing Gaming Act, passed in 2014, legalized domestic gaming houses, but specifically bars any licensee or applicant from being a politically exposed person or holding direct or indirect influence over a government official. Despite the Prime Minister's firm stance, questions persist about the growing political presence of gaming figures.
Of course, because anytime you associate with activities like that, of course you're open to corruption and other things, yes.
I feel as if it's going to be corruption. It depends on the person.
I mean, they appear to be very transparent. You know, they will want to help, want to lend their expertise, and I think that's pretty good. Why wouldn't we?
There's always that possibility, but we shouldn't deny people opportunities.
Some residents say the act should stay as is, protecting against potential abuse of power. Others argue the industry is too influential to be excluded from national decision-making.
You should stand strong. Stand for the people.
It's unfair, actually, because of someone's personal life, that you prohibit them from becoming a cabinet minister or holding a ministerial post.
If the husband is and the wife is not, I think the wife should have all rights to do as she pleases so that she can promote herself or himself in that same process. I don't think they should be judged.
As a private citizen, that's my personal opinion. You know, he's the Prime Minister, I'm not a Prime Minister, I ain't in politics, so I think it's fair game.
For now, Prime Minister Davis is holding the line, declaring that the Gaming Act will stand. But with public interest rising and the political ambitions of gaming stakeholders coming into focus, the debate is far from over. Delano Roker, Eyewitness News.
If you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the Ion News hotline at 397-6397. We also invite you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms, Eyewitness News Bahamas at gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube page, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comments section. We want to hear from you. We're just getting started in Eyewitness News tonight, but when we come back, we're back in Grand Bahama, where the tourism industry is making a comeback. We've got that story coming up. And later tonight, the International Court of Justice speaking with authority on the issue of climate change, a landmark decision being made. We'll tell you all about it right after this break.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is, by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Hi, I know you weren't expecting to see me here. Now you can find your favorite chicken and
and snacks in the same place. It's true. Come on in.
Introducing the Doritos Kentucky Chicken Sandwich, a delicious combination of KFC's juicy original recipe extra large filet, stacked with real Doritos nacho cheese chips for a loud cheesy crunch in every bite. It's bold, it's crunchy, and it's only $8.95. KFC and Doritos, a crunch that's finger licking good.
In 2010, a grant helped Bahamas striping group of companies get started. Today, that seed has grown into a national force, building roads, airports, and brighter futures. Now, we're leading the way through public-private partnerships, what we call 3Ps, where government vision meets private sector innovation. 3Ps empowers local subcontractors, giving them the chance to bid. And with every contract, we're putting money directly into communities, creating jobs, supporting families, and fueling growth. From roads in Eleuthera to community centers in the inner city, we're not just laying asphalt, we're laying foundations for financial opportunity. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we believe in building more than infrastructure. We're building up Bahamians who build the Bahamas. 3Ps, public-private partnerships for people, progress, and prosperity.
Shop early to get your uniforms and catch Janae's Uniform Center's buy 4 get 1 free sale. Free monogrammed and regular school shirts, dry fit and cotton polos, jumpers, skirts, boys long and short pants, PE shorts, underclothes, tights, socks, neckties, belts, sleeping mats, hair accessories, and character work desk. Get 50% off backpacks, lunch bags, and raincoats. Buy 4 school shirts, get 1 free. Buy 2 skirts, jumpers, or pants, get the third 50% off. Need embroidery and monogramming done? Visit Janae's Uniform Center early. Beat the back to school rush. Janae's Chesapeake Road back to school special. Restrictions apply.
Win a brand new 2026 GAC MPOW every week for 5 weeks. Every 10 reward points earns you 1 digital entry. The more entries you gain, the better your chances to win. 5 weeks, 5 cars. Will you be one of our lucky winners? Catch the keys today, only at Island Luck. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so game responsibly.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back. Here's a look at your Eyewitness News gas tracker. You're getting the cheapest tonight at Rubis, $5.48. Shell coming in at $5.50. Esso 1 cent, higher $5.51. Welcome back. You're watching Eyewitness News. We are back in Grand Bahama tonight, where residents and officials say the tourism industry is making a comeback, flooding local businesses. Some good news there. Our Linton Ritchie Jr. on the ground in my hometown with the Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board. He brings us the details in this report tonight.
The nation's second city is shaping up for what residents are calling a slamming tourism rebound, thanks to the reopening of numerous hotspots and the launch of Celebration Key, Carnival's multi-million-dollar destination. While Eyewitness News jetted off to Grand Bahama with the Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board for a closer look. First stop, Garden of the Groves, described by park manager Marilyn Lang as a hidden treasure, where nature, culture, and cuisine collide.
This is a family-friendly environment, just a relaxing area for those who are on a date, just want to hang out, ghosting someplace.
And backing Lang's claims, these American visitors say the garden checked every box.
And it just looked like a beautiful place. The food looked delicious. So here we are. So far, it's beautiful. We love the guy behind us, very talkative, very friendly, as well as the people.
Now, this beautiful green space is more than just a national park and treasure here at Garden of the Groves. Persons say if you want to learn about the true history behind Freeport, that's here. But also, if you're a nature lover and looking to make lifelong memories, park manager says this is the spot.
Anyone who has not visited Grand Bahama before, if this is your first time, then you have to come to the place that's dedicated to the people who founded Freeport.
Next up, for those seeking a full immersion into nature, Tulukayan National Park offers a scenic walk that ends in a showstopper, Gold Rock Beach. Park officials say it's a must-see for first-timers and repeat visitors alike.
Most persons, when they come here, they're really excited about the cave system. And miles and miles of beautiful white sand beach, sometimes referred to as the welcome mat to Grand Bahama.
Now, you've seen some unique local tourist attractions here in East Grand Bahama, but what if you're looking to get your hands on some flavorful Bahamian dishes? Well, here at Pelicans on the Beach, waitress Talia Cooper says it's a spot you definitely want to check out.
We have a slogan here, and it's Pelicans on the Beach offers nice food, nice beach, and nice people.
But tourism in Grand Bahama isn't just about views, it's about resilience. Back in 2019, Hurricane Dorian wreaked havoc on the island, including this restaurant. But today, it's back and better than ever. So why do customers keep coming back? For many, it's the flavors and the feeling.
Who wouldn't enjoy a delicious meal while enjoying the island breeze and the waves and the sea? It's just the atmosphere makes everyone want to come back.
Island officials say the momentum is building with several projects already materializing and more in the pipeline. The future of Grand Bahama looks bright, and they're promising that while the island moves forward, its culture, history, and taste won't be left behind. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Great story, Linton. Well, some major news tonight from labor unions in the Bahamas. The Trade Union Congress and the Taxi Cab Union, they're once again joining forces in a move that could reshape the fight for the rights of workers. Delano Roker joining me live in studio with the details. Delano.
Janea, in what union leaders are calling a critical realignment, the Bahamas Taxi Cab Union has officially rejoined the Commonwealth of the Bahamas' Trade Union Congress. President Tyrone Butler says the decision comes at what he describes as a growing threat to the union's survival and the future of over 400 drivers they represent. Butler says systemic neglect and unfair treatment have forced their hand.
We are under siege right now with so many challenges in the ground transportation industry, and that is why we are putting our efforts and our interests with the Trade Union Congress. Hopefully, our presence here today will convince some of the other unions out there that at some point we need to come full circle and become a unified voice for labor in this country.
Butler also confirmed the Taxi Cab Union's withdrawal from the Bahamas National Alliance Trade Union Congress, led by Belinda Wilson, a group he says also represents their competitors, calling it a conflict of interest.
The biggest challenge that we have right now is that the government has allowed a franchise called Livery Franchise to operate in a space that is usually reserved for taxi drivers. The law does not provide for a livery franchise to be operating in the same space as a taxi driver. And so the government has been enabling these livery franchise to go out there and operate and basically become a competitor to the taxi industry. And that itself, we've been struggling with the government long before I became the president.
Butler didn't stop there. He took direct aim at the government, accusing it of prioritizing delivery services over traditional taxi drivers and overlooking those who have helped build the tourism sector.
To have an individual with one SUV or one town car soliciting a customer for his vehicle, it is wrong, it is insulting, and any government that encourages that really has no vision for what is good customer service. Not only is the government doing it, but it is also encouraged by large properties like Atlantis and Nassau Airport Development Company. That is just the way it is, and this government has been reckless, to say the least, in the last couple of years in the way they've allowed the industry to run. And we believe that now with the Congress here, Mr. Ferguson, we believe we're going to be able to make some headway in that regard.
And the message was echoed and amplified by the Trade Union Congress President, Obie Ferguson, who issued a stern warning to the Davis administration: treat taxi drivers fairly or face union resistance.
And the taxi driver is going to be there because you all are now going to be in charge of ground transportation. That's where we're going to be going for you. We just hope that you will accept it. We're going to take a position because we represent everybody of anybody who can make any change in this country.
This rekindled partnership comes as the TUC ramps up pressure on the government over long-standing national issues, from implementing a livable wage and national health insurance to finalizing the Entertainment Act and repairing the crumbling house of labor. Live in studio, I'm Delano Roker, Eyewitness News. Jadeo, back to you.
Thanks, Delano. Well, it's a red letter day for countries like the Bahamas, said to be previously fighting a losing battle against climate change. The world's top court, the International Court of Justice, handing down a landmark opinion to put a demand on countries to meet their climate obligations. Failing to do so could violate international law, potentially opening the door for affected nations to seek reparations in future legal cases. Inside the world's highest courtroom during the historic decision was acting Justice of the Supreme Court, Cheryl Bazard, who says this landmark represents the dawn of a new day.
The beauty of this advisory opinion is that it was unanimous. There was not one judge that dissented. The court unanimously decided that they had the jurisdiction to grant the advisory opinion. They were unanimous in the fact that climate change treaties set forth very binding obligations for state parties against greenhouse gases. And then they looked at all of the treaties that have been signed by countries, including the Paris Agreement Protocol, the Montreal Agreement, and they came to the conclusion that in addition to these treaties, there was international law and customary law that obliged states to act in good faith. And those that were the developed countries have a greater responsibility to make right with developing countries the damages that are caused to these countries owing to the damage done by climate change.
Now, there are some growing fears on whether or not this opinion would stand the test of time. However, Bazard is confident about the way forward, given that she says the top court has spoken loudly and clearly.
It gives you the legal basis, although persons would say that the advisory opinion is not binding. But this is the world's highest court, and it's very persuasive. And so it is now incumbent on the powers that be to look in detail at the ruling, to look at the liabilities that could be compensated for by other states' parties, and ensure that should this happen, that action is taken. Now, which court you take that in, whether it's civilly, whether it's criminally, then that you now have the international basis to do so. And so there's no more questioning as to whether there is a hope of finding this causal link or this liability. But the court has been very direct in its terms. In fact, the court did not even hint, and they weren't subtle in the sense that you had to guess that maybe there's something in there that I can eke out of this judgment. They were very specific.
Well, a political back and forth tonight intensifying over a new waste site in the St. Anne's constituency. St. Anne's Member of Parliament for the area, Adrian White, is hitting back after the Yamacraw Member of Parliament, Zane Lightbourne, accused him of spreading misinformation over a recent video where White updates residents on new waste containers. However, Lightbourne quickly refuted those claims, saying the waste bins were installed under his implementation a year ago, the result, he says, of a joint effort between his office and the Department of Environmental Health Services.
Everything I said was accurate. It's something that I've spoken for in the House of Assembly, something that we fought for our constituency. Lightbourne lives in St. Anne's. He may have even seen our focus pamphlet before the last election. The point is that these bins, this transfer site, is now publicly known to constituents of the Eastern District areas, constituencies, Elizabeth, Yamacraw, St. Anne's, Fox Hill. It's being provided through government, public resources, and it's for the benefit of the public. There's nothing that I said that was inaccurate. I thanked the Minister of Environment. I mentioned that I had fought for it, I'd spoken for it in the House of Assembly, and that the bins were there for all Eastern constituencies. I do videos that help my constituency and the Bahamas. Mr. Lightbourne seems to do videos of private trainers in gyms. That's not what I do. That's what he does.
White also calling for stronger action to keep the area clean. He's urging the police to step in to assist with the removal of individuals who continue to illegally dump waste. Lightbourne, however, argues that White is simply looking for political brownie points.
These guys have been there since this administration came to office. So I would like the police to step in with these dumping issues. But I've been to the police station. I've gone through more than one senior officer at the Fox Hill station. The coconut guys are still leaving their waste built up 2, 3, 4 waste bins overflowing with coconut debris all over Montevideo foreshore. And that's an area we're going to be making into a sloop sailing tribute park. So if the police haven't been able to act, the Ministry of Environment hasn't been able to act, parks and beaches haven't been able to act before, I would really like them to do the job and do it now, because we're going to beautify that area under the constituency capital grant money. And it would be a shame if persons were allowed to continue to leave their waste behind, not take it away with them, and not be properly respectful for all citizens and all constituents.
In Eyewitness News tonight, the National Sports Authority, they're returning to the entertainment space with a renewed focus. We've got the details coming up, but first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
Haunted Bahamas presents Casablanca Cabinets, the perfect combination of function and beauty. Made from solid wood, these cabinets offer long-lasting durability and exceptional storage, designed to keep your space organized and efficient. Whether for your kitchen or bathroom, Casablanca cabinets are built to handle everyday use while enhancing the beauty of your home. Conveniently located in Grand Bahama, Nassau, Abaco, and Eleuthera, Haunted Bahamas. Dream, design, deliver.
Call it grace, 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 grace brought you here.
Nassau, Bahamas. It's your boy Kevin Downswell. I am coming. I can't wait to see you for Praise Break 2025, right there in Nassau on August 9th. Oh my God, it's going to be incredible. This is gonna be my year. Oh, 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 oh. This is gonna be my year. You guys have no idea what we have in store for you.
Stop, man, stop. Boy, it's hot today, boy. You see that? Mm-hmm. That's snowing. I can cool off, man.
Where you going? Get back here. Don't go in there. I
get inside
there.
there.
I can cook whatever you want tonight. Where you going?
You gonna do what?
I can cook whatever tonight.
I forget you can't cook.
Stop at the heat and enter Skypole. Expert installation, cool comfort, and reliable service. Brought to you by Discount AC and Supplies. Your one-stop shop for top-tier AC units.
Keisha, one thing with you ain't never have no money. I just sent Miko inside Wendy's just now because Wendy's having their summer promo. Just hot cash, girl. Yes, hot cash. But anyway, we did this one right now. We trying to win this $10,000. And even if you ain't win the $10,000, you can win $2,500 every week. Even if you don't get no ride, Keisha. Anyway, Keisha, I go on Miko Reach. Fine. All you gotta do is upgrade any combo between 1 to 12 to medium or large. And they get this new spicy chicken club sandwich. But I just sent Miko inside there for from June 24th to August 1st. You ain't getting the Wendy's, that's on you. But don't ask me for no money when I win.
When your hands are too full, life is just too complicated. Nala, Sally, come here. Uncomplicate. Go faster, safer, greener with the digital way to pay. With Tap to Pay, it's as easy as a gentle touch. No more headaches. Say hello to convenience. The future of pay is digital with options like credit cards, debit cards, online banking, and digital wallets. Make every experience unforgettable. Embrace the ease of digital payments today.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. Well, from managing arenas to curating experiences, the National Sports Authority, they're leaning back into the entertainment space with a renewed focus on community. This time, the spotlight is on delivering not just events, but meaningful moments for Bahamians to enjoy. Our intern, Layla Sands, has the details tonight.
The National Sports Authority is stepping into the entertainment space once again, this time with a new series of events aimed at delivering a fresh, adult-centered experience. Events manager Javon Williams says it's all about creating something special for a great crowd.
The NSA signature events, we have that in 2 installments. We have a concert series called Weekend Vibes. We started with the Essence Band, and I can tell you it was a fantastic experience. And our second installment is called our Weekend Vibes Happy Hour. If this is anything like the first, we can guarantee you great food, great drinks, great atmosphere, just an overall great adult experience.
The first installment is set to take place this week, with dates and times now confirmed for the upcoming activities.
So the Happy Hour will take place this Friday, July 25th, at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium parking lot, starting at about 4 p.m. and going to about 11 p.m.
Williams says while the authority has long hosted events for others, this time it's about creating a space for their own team and supporters to enjoy.
Well, again, the NSA decided to have its own events because we have that internal expertise to do so. We want to be more self-efficient, more self-reliant, so that we can do stuff for the NSA when we want, how we want.
And looking ahead, a 2-night concert series is planned for October. Friday will feature the Essence Band, while Saturday will bring together a lineup of local Bahamian talent. So whether you're looking for laid-back vibes or lively nightlife, NSA's newest lineup promises something to look forward to. Layla Sands, Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Layla. Well, officials are mourning the death tonight of prominent attorney Harvey Tynes Casey, who passed away on Wednesday. Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Fred Mitchell issuing a statement on his passing, hailing him as a Bahamian who strongly believed in the accomplishments, progress, and promise of the Bahamas. As he offered condolences, Mitchell says his death is a profound loss to the Grand Bahama community. So to come in Eyewitness News tonight, our Laurencia Smith has your latest check on sports right after this break.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, at Shop Smart, at Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
You work hard to provide for and protect the ones you love. However, life can present unexpected challenges. Who you call in times of need matters. Insurance Management is a Bahamian-owned company that has been serving our community for over 40 years, offering a wide range of coverage for all of your personal, professional, and commercial needs. When life happens, rest easy knowing that our skilled and experienced agents are there for you in your time of need, so that you can get back to what matters most. Insurance Management. Nobody does it better.
At the Water and Sewage Corporation, safety and convenience are our top priorities. However, our meter readers face challenges that can make their job difficult. Locked gates to guard dogs sometimes leads to missed readings and estimated bills, which can be frustrating for you and us. That's why we're upgrading to digital meters. They bring safety, accuracy, and convenience to homes across the Bahamas. We can streamline data collection, reduce on-site visits, and provide more accurate bills with no more estimates. Digital meters also help detect leaks early, saving you from costly bills and reducing water waste. Soon, a user-friendly app will let you track your water usage, manage bills, and stay informed, all at your fingertips. Over the next year, we're rolling out digital meters nationwide, transforming how we serve you with a safer and cost-efficient water supply. To learn about our digital meters, visit our website or call us today. And don't forget to update your information at any of our locations.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
Eyewitness Sports is brought to you by 103.5 The Beat.
Welcome to another edition of Eyewitness Sports. I'm Laurencia Smith. Thanks for tuning in. Topping our sports roundup tonight, we're on the hardwood. Number 34 is back in the lineup after missing several weeks of action due to an injury. Our very own Jonquel Jones was back in the lineup. The Liberty Star returned to the court in New York's 98-84 win over the Fever on Tuesday night. Jones was playing for the first time since June 19th because of an ankle injury and scored a team high of 18 points.
Obviously, it's been a while since I've been on the court, but, my teammates have held it down while I was out, and everybody was excited for me to be back in, and I was just as excited. So, I really enjoyed the moment. I had a lot of fun. It was great. My conditioning, I feel like I'm at an 8 right now out of 10, so I'm in a good spot.
Jones, the Liberty's third highest scorer, has averaged 12.1 points, 9.6 rebounds, and 2.3 assists this season, while shooting 4.38% from beyond the arc. New York struggled in her absence, going 5-4 after starting the season 9-0. The Liberty are undefeated with Jones on the court. Now let's head on over to some news from the golf course. For the second year in a row, the Men of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated here at home is hosting a charity golf tournament set for Emancipation Day, which is August 4th over at the Royal Blue Golf Course at Bahamas. This year's tournament carries added significance as all proceeds will go to one of their own, Sean Blyden. The charity Golf Invitational is one of several community-focused initiatives hosted by the fraternity each year. Kevin Hudson, president of the local grad chapter here for the fraternity, said helping to spearhead this golf tournament was a no-brainer for the organization.
Last year's event was the inaugural one. It was really well attended, really well subscribed. And this year we were asked to think of a way that we could assist our good brother Blyden. And Jamero just took all of the adjectives like he used to describe him, right? And the thing is that it was an easy one because golf is a gentleman's game, right? And if anybody knows Sean is a gentleman of the highest order. So it was only fitting that we say, you know what, let's try to do this. Obviously there's a process, so we brought it to the brotherhood, and it was a resounding support for him.
The The Insurance Commission of the Bahamas has stepped up as the title sponsors for this year's tournament, supporting not just a worthy cause, but one of their own. Antoinette Blyden, the wife of Sean Blyden, is a part of the ICB team, and the organization said it was only fitting to stand by her side. Communication manager Rodney Bain says that this move reflects the commission's core value: communication, compassion, and commitment.
Because Antoinette means so much to us. I want to make sure that she is supported. And by extension, Sean means much to us, because Sean now is essential for our family. And we want to do whatever we can, not just in words or not just in say, but actually put our money where our mouth is. So Antoinette, know that you have our heart, know that we support you. We can't play golf, but know that we are coming here to support you in many ways, shape, and form.
Well, that's what's making sports at this hour. I'm Laurencia Smith. Stay tuned for more news on the other side of the break.
A classroom teacher for more than 2 decades, and she's now a published author. Janetta Taylor Gibson, principal of Sims Primary School in Long Island, recently released her book, My Jumpstart to Reading.
I am so proud that today is the first day that I get to release my book, and it's just so amazing that I have the director, the permanent secretary, our Minister of Education, and everyone here to be the first recipient of this book.
Taylor Gibson tells of the inspiration behind the book.
It was during the pandemic that one of my teachers said to me, Miss Taylor, you need to write a book to assist not only the students but also the teachers. So I am proud to say that this book will help teachers in the classroom. It will help parents, because even some parents are delinquent in reading. And then it will help the students themselves. This book is actually a self-paced book that each child can work with it at their own pace.
And what's in the cards for the future?
My secretary is, she's pushing me to write the upper primary version, because of course we focus on the phonics and that in lower primary, but we still need to continue to enforce the vocabulary and all of the skills from grades 4 all the way to grade 6. That's my goal, to get part B of the literacy book.
It only goes up.
And all of the skills from grades 4 all the way to grade 6. That's my...
You don't want to miss it.
Measles is on the rise around the world, and the Bahamas is at risk,
which makes us very vulnerable as a nation for the possible outbreak of measles cases.
Every Saturday in May from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Ministry of Health and Wellness will host MMR immunization visits in South Beach, Coconut Grove, Fox Hill, and Elizabeth Estates. Clinics in these areas will remain open until 8 p.m. twice per week. Get your child immunized now.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
That wraps up news this Wednesday, but coming up and Beyond the Headlines with Shanique Miller, a full look at all of today's top stories. That's coming up and Beyond the Headlines. It starts right after this. That does it for us here at Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Janae Nawal saying good night and be safe, everyone.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu.
The thoughts,
we
views,
now offer
and
blood
comments
work,
expressed
drug
by the
screening,
hosts,
and so
guests,
much more.
and callers
Our
on
hours
Beyond
of
the Headlines
operation
are
are
not
Monday to
necessarily
Friday,
those
7
of
a.m. to
management,
5
ownership,
p.m. and
or
Saturday.
production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
an emergency meeting is now underway between the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture and the JCNP. We will go live at that meeting to get the latest. Also tonight, the Coral Towers at the Atlantis Resort closing, putting hundreds of people out of work. We'll tell you the reason behind that decision. Also, the news is a bit better, though, in Grand Bahama, as residents and business owners say the new injection brought about by the Carnival celebration is already being felt on the island. We are hoping to go live to Linton Ritchie, who is in Grand Bahama tonight. If not, we will hear from him as well. This is Beyond the Headlines. It's so wonderful to have you join us. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, we have Laurencia Smith standing by. I was also to have been joined by Juncan Newers at the top of tonight's show to really get into this discussion. As you heard me say a moment ago, they are in emergency meetings, and so that's exactly where they are. But Laurencia is and has been following the story really all afternoon since they went into those closed-door meetings. She is live tonight, and she's standing by outside the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, where key stakeholders are currently locked in meetings. Laurencia, I know that everyone wants the best, particularly, I guess, the ministry would want this to work out in the best interest of everyone involved. Good evening to you.
Yeah, Shanique, we're standing here outside of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, and that closed-door meeting with Juncanewers and members of the government ended roughly about 20 minutes ago, and I can tell you I had an opportunity to speak with both Cultural Minister Mario Boleg and also the head of the JCNP. As we know, over the last several days, tensions have been boiling over the proposed Junkanoo Authority bill. Now, whether or not Junkanoo is still suspended, it may be, because we pressed the head of the JCNP, Dion Miller, about the state of Junkanoo activities, and he simply said that it's a matter that he's not addressing right now, and he has to take it back to his members. Now, he did not go into much of what took place in the meeting. He said the whole objective was to come to an understanding of what this bill actually means. Now, that was the same tone of the minister, Mario Boleg, who also noted that the whole objective was to come to an understanding and agreement. He says the most important thing is for the ministry is to maintain a good working relationship with the JCNP. And he's described their relationship like a marriage, and he said they have their ups and their downs. Now, as we know, over the last several days, there have been a lot of uproar and controversy around the state of Junkanoo after government announced that it was in the consultation stages of producing the Junkanoo Authority bill, which stakeholders say the whole objective is to bring empowerment and some framework and structure to that of Junkanoo, which is considered the greatest show on earth. Now, where we go from here is still unknown at this time. As they say, there is a series of meetings to continue to take place before they can come to an anonymous decision on what's next for Junkanoo. So that's all I can tell you now from that closed meeting that took place between stakeholders and the Junkanoo community, Shanique.
Even remaining there and speaking with us live here on Beyond the Headlines. I thank you for that update as well. You heard Laurencia say that the meeting just ended about 20 minutes ago. Everybody is closed mouth and not saying much. We can, though, kind of begin talking about this because it's not a new idea. I heard Laurencia say that the chairman of the JCNP, who a representative would have been here this evening, but they just left that meeting. Also, one of the leaders of the Genesis group was to have been here this evening. He is a no-show, but we will continue because we have a lot to talk about. I am not sure what it is about the contents of this new bill that is difficult to understand. In 2018, the present leader of the Free National Movement, Michael Pintard, who was Minister of Culture at the time, also had this idea of introducing an authority of sorts. In fact, it was a whole bill. It was called the National Junkanoo Authority of the Bahamas. And this bill, if that's not the one, certainly he spoke. Here's what a headline is that we had here at Eyewitness News. Culture Minister Michael Pintard told Eyewitness News that his ministry is working towards monetizing and internationalizing Junkanoo. Now, we have not seen what this new authority bill is, but the idea has been floating about since 2018, maybe even before then. What is the issue and the disagreement? Now, another question. One may ask, well, why not maybe wait until the season is over? After all, it's almost in the middle of preparations. In fact, groups have been already started preparing. Why doesn't the ministry wait until after the season so that these meetings can happen and everyone have a full understanding and move forward more cohesively? Well, this is exactly what's happening right now. You know the JCNP has said that they will not go to Bay Street. They have totally stopped every bit of preparation that they've been doing, and this is what it is. Now, Justin, I thank you very much. We will now go to the story, and then we will come back, and we will have more discussion on this and what's happening right now in terms of Junkanoo.
Tonight, the proposed National Junkanoo Authority of the Bahamas bill is causing tension in the Junkanoo community. Critics warn it's the wrong time to pursue this, and some voices are urging restraint. Among the skeptics is Junkanoo legend and the Coalition of Independence Culture Shadow Minister Linda Stubbs, who says this isn't the ideal time for such a disruptive discussion.
Why now, though? Why at this particular point when Junkanoos are in their creative zone?
Her comments come as the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence, the independent body that organizes the parades, has rejected the bill outright. They've taken the drastic step of suspending all official Junkanoo events, throwing the upcoming Boxing Day and New Year's parades into uncertainty.
Leave the Junkanoos alone. Let them get to Bay Street for December and January. Go to the table and do your negotiations.
Sources within the JCNP say the bill threatens to strip them of their authority, transferring control to a permanent government-appointed body. Now, frustrations are mounting, with insiders accusing the Trevor Davis-led Valley Boys faction of pushing behind the scenes to replace the JCNP, a claim that various officials have denied. But Culture Minister Mario Bolek cautions that the JCNP may be overreacting, urging calm and cooperation.
I don't know why it's causing some uproar. This is a draft legislation.
Bolek also confirming that government is not rushing the bill to Parliament, encouraging all stakeholders to read and review. But Stubbs isn't convinced.
You are trying to push this narrative because you want to impress the Bahamian people. After 3.5 years of doing nothing about this authority, all of a sudden, the authority is important.
Still, the Junkanoo veteran says she's open to the concept if the goal is to preserve, promote, and properly manage the cultural product. Now, with tensions flaring and the future of this year's parades hanging in the balance, this is a story far from over. In the meantime, Bolek is of the view that the JCNP doesn't have the authority to cancel parades for the remainder of the season.
Their responsibility is for the judging of 2 parades, Boxing Day and New Year's, and the ticketing. And that authority was given to them by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, who has the authority to take it away from them at any given time.
Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
This is the thing. Does the ministry have a right to have a say? You know, the JCNP is of the opinion that government, listen, we have been managing this now for 20 plus years. Let us do what it is that we do. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts? And the reason I'm asking is, you all remember that there is something called seed money. In fact, if they don't get that even before December, they are absolutely in a riot. So that seed money comes from the government, you and me. So therefore, there has to be some input. Should the JCNP be allowed to manage the parades? Yes, of course. Certainly, but with accountability and oversight. Also, this Valley Boys row that so many have been talking about, does this have any bearing on what's going on? Why is this resistance? Again, I said at the top of the show, this is not a new idea. Former Culture Minister Pintard had the same idea. And what is the idea? To what everybody's been crying for and talking about for decades now, everyone in Junkanoo. Let's make Junkanoo a cultural expression that the world loves, that is lucrative for every participant and every group, and let's move it forward. Let's modernize it. Joining me this evening is Ellington Ferguson. Ellington, good evening to you. Welcome to the show Beyond the Headlines. My contributor, Ellington. Ellington, it seems as though in recent time, before every season, during every season, there is a row as it relates to Junkanoo.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. Certainly, it's a pleasure to be here once again. Shanique, this thing with Junkanoo, I'm not sure where it's going to end up. Obviously, this whole discussion is being entered into with some level of prejudice, with some level of preconceived notions stemming from spillover from, in my opinion, the issues last year with the Valley Boys. Obviously, the JCNP is not in good spirits with the government, with this present government. And you're seeing it in these negotiations. They came to the Bahamian people and...
Hold on, you're almost suggesting that it can be politically motivated, this standoff that's happening.
I'm getting the feeling that it is. Because here it is, you came to the Bahamian people, you didn't say, well, hey, they said this, they said they're going to do this is what we don't like, this is what we don't think should happen. None of that. You just heard that they're putting a bill authority out there, which again, like you said, was floated before, and we didn't have all this ruckus. But you heard that they're putting authority out there, and without any discussion, you start canceling and canceling and canceling. So you want to do things where the government would be embarrassed and people would start crying out against the government. I don't think this is the way to go. This is not the way to do things. This is absolutely, and that's why I'm suggesting it's spilling over from what the issue that's been happening from last year with the Valley Boys. And there's some bad blood between the government and the JCNP. The minister talked about, and I don't hold no water for the minister, but he talked about this whole authority will be able to empower Junkanooers more. It removes the government from direct operation, even though the government still giving the seed money, okay? And so you can't just tell the government and the taxpayers people to stay out of Junkanoo business. Junkanoo business is all of our business. It's our culture. You just happens to be the ones that performing. It's all of our culture, and we all have a say. We all have a stake in this. And so we've got to approach these things with common sense, man.
We have said, we meaning Junkanooers, Junkanoo leaders, those who are Junkanoo enthusiasts and participants and on the sideline, let's take this wonderful thing that the Washington Post, I believe it was some years ago, said this is the #1 cultural festival in the world. Let's actually then monetize that and really make it happen and take it international. Why do you suppose the resistance is happening now?
Again, Shanique, I start to be corrected, but personally, I feel it's personal. I really feel it's personal because what they're doing now is what should have been done before all of those statements been put out. Cancel all practice, cancel. I think that was nonsensical. That was uncalled for.
What about the fact that, you know, it's coming up on August? Things are, well, Junkanoo was started a long time, as we know. They come in, there's the planning stage, this is what we're going to do, themes, and how it's going to look and how it's going to play out. And then, of course, you start executing that around this time of the year in August, September. What about the thought that, listen, Mario Boleg and his team should have waited until perhaps the season is done, meaning the 2025-2026 season is done, that's after New Year's Day, and then bring this to the table?
And then after that, when we go into 2026, maybe they should wait until the 2026 season is done. Junkanooers enter into their persons that design costumes and come up with theme. They begin working immediately after New Year's Junkanoo is over. So all of this about waiting, I mean, waiting for what? The people that are practicing now, which comes later, the practice don't start in January, February, they start practicing now. They're not the ones in the negotiation, okay? The leaders are some of the persons involved in designing and team. Those are the ones in the negotiation. And so their process starts from January, February, or somewhere thereabout. So the waiting, when? Everybody always say, why now? Why not now? Because you don't never get to it, and they can say, you're slow, you're slunking.
Yeah.
No, we've got to do better than this as we seek to transform Junkanoo, to take Junkanoo to the world. We've got to enhance it, our cultural experience, that when our people come, we got to be able to showcase this and deliver this to the world. We talk about all of the other genres of music that goes out to the world, and we've got to be prepared to take the world stage.
I absolutely agree. This is Beyond the Headlines. I'll tell you this, and don't feel as though I'm having this discussion without those who are actually involved. and their input and their thoughts, and just to hear how they feel about it. Again, they are just out of that emergency meeting. I had commitments for tonight's show, but they were called into the meeting, and obviously those persons after that perhaps went into break-off sessions, is all I can say, because no one turned up tonight after the meeting with the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture. And so we're going to continue. Obviously, this is something that we're going to continue discussing. We are tired, though, of the tantrums. You know what I mean? We're tired of the doggone tantrums. That part right there, you know? And so let us then, Justin, let us then get Junkanoo where it needs to be, respected as the iconic cultural expression that it is, treated as such. And for those of you who've been saying for years, since I was Russian, that you need to make money from this and it needs to become more of the business that it is, and everything match the growth of it, that it must happen, well, let it happen. Let it happen. Absolutely. It's as simple as that. This is Beyond the Headlines. We take a break and we're back right after this.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
Welcome to Blissful Escapes, where luxury meets affordability. Whether you're seeking relief from aches and pains or simply looking to indulge in some well-deserved pampering, relax and detox in our infrared sauna. Enjoy a soothing Swedish massage or an invigorating exfoliating body scrub. We also provide advanced facial treatments using cutting-edge technology, including hydrofacial, microneedling, and microcurrent therapies, located at the shops of Cable Beach Plaza.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Win a brand new 2026 GAC MPOW every week for 5 weeks. Every 10 reward points earns you 1 digital entry. The more entries you gain, the better your chances to win. 5 weeks, 5 cars. Will you be one of our lucky winners? Catch the keys today, only at Island Luck. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so game responsibly.
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
Welcome to Blissful Escapes, where luxury meets affordability. Whether you're seeking relief from aches and pains or simply looking to indulge in some well-deserved pampering, relax and detox in our infrared sauna. Enjoy a soothing Swedish.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Residents and officials on the island of Grand Bahama say the tourism industry is making a comeback. This, they say, is rebounding and is flooding local businesses. Now, Linton Ritchie Jr. is in Grand Bahama. We are expecting him to join me a little bit later in the show. But first, he says that the Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board is quite excited about what's going on, and they spoke with him today.
The nation's second city is shaping up for what residents are calling a slamming tourism rebound, thanks to the reopening of numerous hotspots and the launch of Celebration Key, Carnival's multi-million-dollar destination. While Eyewitness News jetted off to Grand Bahama with the Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board for a closer look. First stop, Garden of the Groves, described by park manager Marilyn Lang as a hidden treasure, where nature, culture, and cuisine collide.
This is a family-friendly environment, just a relaxing area for those who are on a date, just want to hang out, ghosting someplace.
And backing Lang's claims, these American visitors say the garden checked every box.
And it just looked like a beautiful place. The food looked delicious, so here we are. So far, it's beautiful. We love the guy behind us, very talkative, very friendly, as well as the people.
Now, this beautiful green space is more than just a national park and treasure here at Garden of the Groves. Persons say if you want to learn about the true history behind Freeport, that's here. But also, if you're a nature lover and looking to make lifelong memories, park manager says this is the spot.
Anyone who has not visited Grand Bahama before, if this is your first time, then you have to come to the place that's dedicated to the people who founded Freeport.
Next up, for those seeking a full immersion into nature, the Lucayan National Park offers a scenic walk that ends in a showstopper, Gold Rock Beach. Park officials say it's a must-see for first-timers and repeat visitors alike.
Most persons, when they come here, they're really excited about the cave system. And miles and miles of beautiful white sand beach, sometimes referred to as the welcome mat to Grand Bahama.
Now, you've seen some unique local tourist attractions here in East Grand Bahama, but what if you're looking to get your hands on some flavorful Bahamian dishes? Well, here at Pelicans on the Beach, waitress Talia Cooper says it's a spot you definitely want to check out.
We have a slogan here, and it's Pelicans on the Beach offers nice food, nice beach, and nice people.
But tourism in Grand Bahama isn't just about views. It's about resilience. Back in 2019, Hurricane Dorian wreaked havoc on the island, including this restaurant. But today, it's back and better than ever. So why do customers keep coming back? For many, it's the flavors and the feeling.
Who wouldn't enjoy a delicious meal while enjoying the island breeze and the waves and the sea? It's just the atmosphere makes everyone want to come back.
Island officials say the momentum is building with several projects already materializing and more in the pipeline. The future of Grand Bahama looks bright, and they're promising that while the island moves forward, its culture, history, and taste won't be left behind. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, everybody is rooting for Grand Bahama. It's good to hear that again. Linton Ritchie will be joining us. He's headed to the fish fry. There is a fish fry in Grand Bahama. And just to see how that business has picked up there as well. We hope to be able to connect with him in our next segment. But let's just talk about it. Welcome back, of course, our Hot Topics panelists, Ellington Ferguson and Leslie Miller. Good evening, Leslie, to you.
Good evening.
And listen, isn't that just stunning to see? I know some years ago when I was as a reporter, I did some feature stories on Grand Bahama, and I did that nature trail, and it's so stunning just to see all that beautiful green that Linton showed us a minute ago in this report.
Absolutely, Shanique. It's wonderful, and one or two of those things I was not even aware of. I think even we need to do more of that and showcase these places to even Bahamians. It's marvelous. Grand Bahama has so much to offer. Grand Bahama is on the rebound and things are beginning to happen in Grand Bahama. I remember a few months ago, Shanique, you did a show here with persons from the Port Authority, and they talked about what all they're doing, and we're seeing those fruits are coming off even ahead of what the initiatives that the government is doing with the sale of the hotel. Hopefully that pans out like we talked about. But I'm happy and I'm excited about what's happening in Grand Bahama. The magic is returning to Grand Bahama, and trust me, I think we have yet to see what all is going to come out of this and the glory days of Grand Bahama.
No, most Bahamians are unaware of the beautiful attractions that Grand Bahama offers. The groves, gardens is one of the prettiest places in this country, but most of us are not aware of it. You know, the tourists now, because that's because Grand Bahama was really built on the premise of being a industrial complex, an operation, which it was. And then tourism came in for 20 years later and has already added to the flavor of what Grand Bahama is about. And I'm so happy, I think all Bahamians must be happy and proud of what is taking place now in Grand Bahama. We now look forward to having that new adventure that's going to happen shortly. And once they start the week on the old hotel, Xanadu, that's going to be something. So we do all, you know, what is going on in Grand Bahama and what is to come. She put Grand Bahama back in its place as the magic city, hopefully over the next 15, 20 years.
And what is also interesting, Shanique, is to see the spillover from that new Celebration Key development, to see people moving around and going into these other spaces.
Yes.
And hopefully the economy of Grand Bahama rebound and Grand Bahama take its rightful place in the economic and development of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
It is poised to do so, and
Absolutely.
so we're quite happy.
Back in Freeport, you know?
Yeah, we're quite happy
I
to
might be
hear
moving
that.
to Freeport.
Yeah, listen, Grand Bahamians don't need all of Nassau knocking on its door.
They love me.
Okay, yes, very, very good. Listen, but I'll tell you this, the people at the Coral Towers at the Atlantis Hotel wish they can smile as widely. The Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allies Workers Union President Darren Woods is refuting claims of mass separation packages at Atlantis as the mega resort grapples with a significant decline in bookings. This as the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Chester Cooper, said that tourism numbers are on the upswing. Woods setting the record straight after Atlantis Vice President Vaughn Roberts revealed that its Coral Towers complex will be closed temporarily, an action he suggests should not be a surprise move, but one consistent with the actions taken in prior years during the slower part of the tourism calendar. However, there has been swirling concerns that those employees would be the subject of a downsizing exercise during the slow period. Now, Woods is clarifying what course of action workers are being advised to take while maintaining that their jobs are not in jeopardy.
I want to categorically deny that there's no mass separation packages being offered to the bargaining unit employees of the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union employed at Atlantis. What is happening is that they found themselves where there's a significant drop-off in the business. They were able to produce the information to show us, as a result of this tariff war that's going on, there's a significant drop-off in the business. We were able to see that, and what they're asking the employees to do, those who have excessive vacation, to take those time. Those who want leave of absence, they can take that also. And then after that, the persons who remain will be able to be placed in areas, because September is already a slow month when most of the people in the service industry take their vacation. No one is going to be negatively impacted or laid off or separated at this time. Most of them, the majority based on what we saw, will be the period that they have in excess will take them through this period that they're talking about. And they're talking about 8 weeks where in the first instance it's going to be three weeks. There's a group coming in and they're going to come back and then they're going to go back out. But even though they're saying 8 weeks, it will not be 8 weeks proper, because people are going to be there to close and reopen the hotel. We're watching any significant thing that happens, particularly in the U.S., because we see where the Trump administration is making various changes as they go along. So, of course, we have to keep our eyes glued to what is happening in the U.S., because anything that happens in the U.S. naturally affects us. And, of course, we stand ready to do what is necessary to ensure that our people are sufficiently taken care of.
To Freeport, who's watching, Darren Meadows, don't play games. When I talked about Grand Bahama, Ellington and Leslie, I did not say this, but he reminded me a moment ago that I actually fell in the water off the kayak trying to jump to the floating bridge. And I have the bruise right now today. I need to sue ZNS.
Did you videotape that?
No, we didn't.
Oh.
No, we didn't.
I'd
but
love to see
I remember, trust me, I have the bruise. I look at it almost every day. I have the bruise. But listen, you all, Atlantis is a property that's really kind of been in the state it's in, meaning it has not really moved much. There's nothing. Atlantis has not refreshed itself.
Stagnant.
Really,
Yeah.
for quite a number of years.
You're looking for a buyer for the last 10 years now. And it's just a pity that, I understand what the president said that they're going to be laid off, but their job is secure. Well, if I'm off for the whole summer, how am I going to make an income? Who's going to pay me for the next 3 months or 4 months of my life? What do you mean? You lay me off and my job is secured, but I'm not getting an income.
Exactly.
So how am I going to survive those 3 to 4 months? I think there's a hell of a lot of exploration that needs to be done there. It's a pity that they really invested no money in the resort since Saul Cousin sold it.
No, the property has kind of just been there.
And the group out of Canada, which is really an investment group, they don't tend to invest. It's been up for sale now for the last almost, since they bought it. But no one's going to pay that some $1.5 to $2 billion for a property that you probably got to invest about $1 billion to get it back up to what it should be. And that's the problem with them. They're trying to sell it, but there's no buyers. Yeah. And I just hope that those persons who are going to be laid off, that the hotel would make some suggestion to them or some consideration in paying them even if just half salary. You say I'm a permanent secretary, employee, at least give me half a salary, eh? Give me something.
Well, certainly, Shanique, my heart
Why
goes
not?
out.
You believe they'll do that?
My heart goes out to those employees, and I know sometimes union in the past have assisted the employees. I hope that kicks in.
Yeah.
And then I hope the hotel do something.
Those hotel dues, right.
That those people can have something to
union
go on
dues.
within these couple of months, because these are tough times already
Very
without
difficult.
being off of your job.
Exactly.
And so, yes, Atlantis
It's rough out
has been lagging behind for some time now. There's guests. They collect guest complaints about certain things. So they got a lot of work to do to make sure that for the upkeep of that hotel, even if you intend to sell it at some point, you can't expect to get top
And don't forget the
dollars for
tower's
it.
been closed down about 7 years, eh?
And then government got to look into that. We built that hotel was built with a promise of so much jobs, and we have a whole tower, the beach tower, that has been closed for about 6-7 years.
Yes,
What's
yes.
going on with that? What's happening?
You don't
What
hear
is
nothing
that
about
about? We talk about needing more room rate. We're talking about wanting more stopover
Yeah,
visitors
exactly.
versus cruise visitors. And here we are cutting a big chunk of our room out of the room inventory that we have. What's happening? I think I need the government to speak to this. We need to hear from that group, Atlantis over there, what is happening with that tower. And let's go. What's going on with this property? What are you all going to do? Are you going to upkeep the property? As guests complains about a lot of the rooms are not up to par. It's you got the cost is still up there, but then the delivery of the service is not there.
And what is interesting too is that the Ministry of Tourism is promoting this situation that we need more hotel rooms. And that they now want to find investors to put a hotel downtown Nassau. But why can't you get Paradise Island to reopen the hotel that was closed down now for the past several years?
And
that's what they should be putting pressure on.
When you talk about hotel room inventory, we got to remember what happened. Okay, we tore down the Crystal Palace, I understand. We built Bahamas, but don't forget what we took away. The beach towers that we just mentioned.
Exactly.
Also, the Melia is no longer there. So while we increased some, we always also took away some. So right there, we don't have those room inventory that we should have had.
Well, gentlemen, I want to ask this question before we move on to the next story. What has your electricity bill been looking like since we are into the summer months now? Oh, yeah, I see you made the sign of the cross.
Well, there's been no decrease.
Jesus, Lord. Shanique, we heard all of what the government is doing to reforming energy here in the country. Bahamians had a lot of high expectations, and for a moment, a lot of people began to celebrate that their energy bill appeared to be going down, and then you know how you jump over a rope, you bend your knees and then you leap. And it appears that is what the energy is doing. It bent its knees, went down for a moment, and then leaped, and it's over. I mean, people talk about their energy bill, what they put on as the fuel charge. The fuel is 3 times the cost of what they're using for energy. something got to be wrong with this. Something is absolutely wrong with this. I think we need more explanation coming from that area. The government need to speak clearly to us as to what's happening. How long has Bahamians going to be experiencing this high surge of energy here in the country, especially in New Providence? It's not good for us. We already are incumbent with the high cost of living, and even with businesses. Business is going to have to do something as it relates to these high energy costs. They're going to have to compensate somewhere.
There's no doubt that this is going to be the hottest summer in the history of the Bahamas, and indeed in the world. And I mean, by the time you get home around about between 6 and 8, you're so hot and tired, the first thing you do is turn the air conditioning on. But the cost has not decreased as was suggested. Mind you, people were happy a few months ago.
It showed a decrease from
something
January
happened.
to
I
June.
spoke to the minister concerning it, and I think they're still waiting for BPL to give them an explanation as to how the excise was tripled. And there's no explanation anyone can really appreciate. Supervisor knows a reason to turn it hell, over $250,000 a month in additional bills. And of course, Mr. Roberts hasn't decided to pass it on yet. But he's not going to carry us forever, eh? Not for the summer. I just think they need to have a serious meeting there and try to get this matter resolved as soon as possible.
Well, I asked you all that question because Free National Movement Senator Michaela Barnett is sounding off on the electricity bills. She calls them a burden on Bahamian families, adding that she was shocked about this month's power bill. This, as consumers have also taken to social media, saying and stating their displeasure over this month's bill alone.
If you're like me, you were shocked by this month's electricity bill, brought to you by the so-called New Day PLP. When they took office, the fuel charge was around 10 cents. Today, it's over 17. That's nearly 70% more before your usage or VAT. BPL said the prices would level off by early 2024. But it's now mid-2025 and the bills are still rising with no explanation and no relief. So where is the cheaper electricity we were promised? Because from where I stand, this isn't a new day. It's a never-ending nightmare.
Well, gentlemen, your response to, well, you kind of already responded and talked about your experience.
Correct. As it relates to how the bills are going up. Obviously, this is a political platform, but she's absolutely correct. That it's burdensome.
Something needs to be done. This is going to be a furious
we
summer.
need to, as a matter of fact, the government needs to speak to it to the Bahamian. See, when you're doing things, these kind of things, and if you have to, something have to happen, I think you should speak to the people so you can bring people along. They can understand what is happening. How long would we have to endure this? When are we going to get relief from these high energy costs?
Something needs to be done.
Beyond the Headlines is back after this.
If you're like me,
develop the orange economy of the Bahamas and empower our artists and artisans. We as a government intend to show tangible support. We are therefore requesting our Bahamian artists and artisans to submit images of their handmade, authentically made Bahamian products and prices as we move to produce a live digital booklet with Bahamian-made works. With the creation of a live booklet, artisans can always submit new works to be included. It is our intent to use this book as a catalog for the purchase of items by all senior government officials for gifts, display items, and the like. Ministers, permanent secretaries, members of parliament, and ambassadors will be supporting our orange economy by the purchase of items and in sharing this book to the wider global creative community. We are committed to grow and expand the orange economy of the Bahamas.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. I know some of our viewers in the United States and Grand Bahama are wondering where the show is. Perhaps many of you are as well. The Facebook stream has stopped, but if you can go to the YouTube channel, of course there is a Beyond the Headlines YouTube channel, but if you go to the Eyewitness News Bahamas YouTube channel, you can stream the show live there. Okay, we do apologize this evening for the Facebook stream not being up for this show, but you can stream live on YouTube. Thank you all so much for bringing that to our attention. Once again, the viewers in the United States, viewers in Grand Bahama, many of you are asking about the show. Well, you can stream live on YouTube, and of course you can watch it on television, but thank you for bringing that to our attention. Thank you so much. By the way, we are still waiting to hear from Linton Ritchie. Remember, he was supposed to have joined me live in this segment. However, Grand Bahama is big and wide, right? We think that it's just Nassau, we can get somewhere really quickly. So they're still trying to make their way at this very moment to the fish fry, but we'll just move forward. The national conversation surrounding potential changes to the Gaming Act continues to stir debate across the country with conflicting signals and growing interest from citizens. We went on the streets today, the Eyewitness News team did, to find out from many of you your thoughts. Should the Gaming Act be amended? And do Bahamians support such a move? Delano Roca has the story.
While speculation has been rampant, Prime Minister Philip Davis has made it clear the Gaming Act will not be amended. Still, the issue continues to generate buzz, particularly following comments from His Excellency Sebas Bastian, a prominent gaming executive, who has hinted at entering the political arena. Meanwhile, Seabreeze MP and wife of a gaming figure, Leslie Miller Bryce, has stated publicly she would welcome a cabinet position, stoking public debate over potential conflicts of interest.
And I don't see no reason why the government shouldn't. You know, in this economy, you know, everyone should be given an equal opportunity. Not because you're a cabinet minister or because you're associated or have gaming interests, makes that should disqualify you or make you an unworthy candidate, because in the same way you may still have a lot to offer to the country.
Well, that's up to the Prime Minister to give a minister post, but yeah, Sebas is Bahamian, so I mean, if other people could get whatever, then why not Sebas? She have the right to, because she's a Bahamian also, so.
Doesn't matter to me once the person is, I guess, genuine enough to say be in Parliament. It doesn't matter who the person is or if it's Sebas, Leslie, it doesn't matter.
The existing Gaming Act, passed in 2014, legalized domestic gaming houses, but specifically bars any licensee or applicant from being a politically exposed person or holding direct or indirect influence over a government official. Despite the Prime Minister's firm stance, questions persist about the growing political presence of gaming figures.
Of course, because anytime you associate with activities like that, of course you're open to corruption and other things, yes.
I feel as if it's going to be corruption. It depends on the person.
I mean, they appear to be very transparent. You know, they will want to help, want to lend their expertise, and I think that's pretty good. Why wouldn't we?
There's always that possibility, but we shouldn't deny people opportunities.
Some residents say the act should stay as is, protecting against potential abuse of power. Others argue the industry is too influential to be excluded from national decision-making.
You should stand strong. Stand for the people.
It's unfair, actually, because of someone's personal life, that you prohibit them from becoming a cabinet minister or holding a ministerial post.
If the husband is and the wife is not, I think the wife should have all rights to do as she pleases so that she could promote herself or himself in that same process. I don't think they should be judged.
As a private citizen, that's my personal opinion. You know, he's the prime minister. I'm not a prime minister. I ain't in politics. So I think it's fair game.
For now, Prime Minister Davis is holding the line, declaring that the Gaming Act will stand. But with public interest rising and the political ambitions of gaming stakeholders coming into focus, the debate is far from over. Delana Roker, Eyewitness News.
Well, it's quite an interesting story and debate. Bahamians are obviously paying attention and see key figures emerging on the political scene and wondering if they are successful in one arena, perhaps that can assist in nationally for the country. But as we were discussing as we watched that story, and Leslie has more details on this, that it really is something not just that is here in the Bahamas, it's an international sort of law or agreement. Leslie, can you fill us in further on that?
Much international agreement and convention. In any country in the world that has gambling, and Europe has a lot of gambling, and most countries in this hemisphere has a lot of gambling, but they've made it clear that if you want to become a minister in the government, where you have a lot of say and input, because remember, it's just one government, so each minister is responsible, like same as the prime minister. You got collective responsibility in cabinet. So one can't deviate from the other. And the Bahamas would be penalized greatly if our act was to change to accommodate those persons who are in the gaming business or associated with the gaming business to become members of cabinet. It's very difficult. And I think the Prime Minister is really serious about not getting other countries and the international financial community, which is our second largest sector in the Bahamas, back in trouble again. He preferred us to stay out of it at this time. Now, if the countries or the convention changes, I'm sure he would do an about turn and do what is necessary. The question must be asked, why is this so? Well, many countries believe that gambling is such an intricate phenomenon that you should not be associated with the cabinet of any country if you're involved with gambling, because of the amount of money that is that goes through the hands of the major gaming entities in the country and elsewhere in the world. That's a very serious. They take it very seriously. And the Bahamas, if they were to back out, we will catch eternal hell from the financial institution worldwide, including the United States of America.
So this is
Britain,
nothing to do with
the
laws that we decide we're
nothing
going
to do with
to
the
enact.
Bahamas. Nothing to do with us.
So basically a global convention that we operate on.
And you either abide by it or you would suffer the consequences of being blacklisted again. Nobody has given it a blacklisting for the last 20 years.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, we wouldn't want that to happen again.
I remember several of them. And
so,
so now it explains, because actually many people ask the question because we did not understand what that law was about, what it meant, or even the fact that it extends beyond our borders.
Right.
And so it's good to know that. Gentlemen, I thank you both this evening. We surely did pull through, didn't we, tonight? I thank Laurencia Smith for the live drop she gave at the top of tonight's show. We made it happen, even though this whole show got turned around just before 8 o'clock. I mean, I tell you, thank you very, very much. Of course, I thank you, Ellington Ferguson, Leslie Miller, also for hanging out this evening. And Linton Ritchie, I don't know if you got to the fish fry of Grand Bahamas yet, but enjoy. Listen, I thank you all so much for tuning in this evening. I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening for another incredible show discussing the issues that are important to you. Until then, for the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.